Good morning, Mortgage Mastery Club members. It's Todd Duncan. I'm ready to go. I got my Starbucks. Here we are Wednesday morning. Hope you're doing great. I talked to you last week about the importance of a checklist, and I talked about the value that checking things off brings to you and provides for you. And then I told you that we'd begin a 6-week journey where I would cover the power list, and these are 6 different things that every single day you ought to check off of your list as highly important, highly productive, high payoff activities. This week we begin with knowledge acquisition, and the one thing that you need to check off every single day is when you've spent 1 hour in knowledge acquisition. Why an hour? I believe that Earl Nightingale had it right when he said that if you were to study your trade for an hour a day, every single day for 7 days a week, within 3 to 5 years you would be a national expert in that trade. What I have found is that most mortgage originators are not spending that kind of time specifically learning the trade. We may accidentally make the mistakes or learn the lessons, whatnot as we go forward, but this is different. This is an intentional 1 hour block of time that is devoted specifically for knowledge acquisition. The ability to learn, to study your trade, to get the knowledge you need every day for an hour, 7 days a week, would put you at a level within 3 to 5 years that most of your competitors would never attain. When we think about knowledge, we have to think about what is it that we try to acquire then? What are the things that we must learn on a regular basis? And I think that it's probably important to maybe just chunk these into a couple of categories. Clearly, the whole operational side of the business. You know, if you're a loan originator today and you don't really have a grasp of the processing and underwriting and file management, the whole manufacturing of the loan on the back side, and all you've done to this point is relied on somebody to take the baton and get it done for you, that may work, but all true, very successful, highly engaged and financially successful mortgage bankers have spent time learning the back office. And so maybe it's an hour a day for the next 30 days that you just step up your knowledge in those areas. What are the operational issues and the product issues that you need additional training on? Another area is with regard to your core client base. When you think about knowledge acquisition in that scenario, it would be the equivalent of studying the real estate industry if you call on realtors, studying the financial industry if you call on financial planners. In a lot of ways, there's a lot of generic training that applies to all these industries, like sales training and marketing training and so on and so forth, but there's also specific things that apply to those industries that, to the extent you could get your hands on and your arms around, that would be great. Knowledge acquisition every day in the markets, looking at Mortgage Market Guide weekly, understanding the daily updates with Mortgage Market Guide, maybe plugging into CNBC and having your morning half hour or so, just really gaining kind of direction on where the markets are going and what's up today that you need to be aware of. Reading some of the great financial planning books that are out there right now would give you a step up. Reading some of the great books that are out there for real estate agents on how to become a millionaire as a real estate agent. Those are great books for you to get your arms around and for you to gain knowledge from. And then I think the third area, so we have operations and product, we have core client their base and what you're learning there, and then we have just core characteristics for you. For example, I think it would be very important for you to acquire knowledge in the area of borrower consultations, obviously nailing those and perfecting those. The high trust interview with your business development prospects, nailing that and perfecting that. And then really just how to sell. What are the 8 disciplines of a sales call, and how can you nail those and make those so natural that you know how to sell well. Well, these 3 categories are what you should be checking off every single day, and you ought to get your arms around this and figure out beginning immediately, this is your key. This is the check off for today, knowledge acquisition.